Hi again, reception. So I've chosen this one for our next story. Remember, guys, if you wear glasses, to use them when you're doing your reading. I know some of you actually do forget. This story is called The Boy Who Unplugged the Sea, and I was really curious about this one. I wonder how you can unplug the sea. Do you think it's like the bath? When you unplug the bath? I hope there's not a plug for the big sea. This story is written by Paul Brown. Fantastic. And this story belongs to my grandson Isaac, and he's loaned us all of these books for us to share. The Boy Who Unplugged the Sea. Building sandcastles was one of Marcel's most favourite pastimes. He would spend hours on the beach with his dog Whippy, creating amazing sculptures out of sand, shells and pebbles. Have you ever been to the seaside and built a sand castle? But annoyingly, when the tide came in, Marcel's lovely creations were always washed away. That actually does happen. He tried building his sandcastles further away from the sea, but the sand was just too dry and it wouldn't stick together. I wonder what he can do to fix that. He dug really deep moats around them, but they eventually filled up with seawater and his creations were crumbled. Ask your adult, or ask the teacher in class, what is a moat? There's something for you to find out and let me know. Children at home, maybe you could let me know on Google Classrooms. No matter how big and strong Marcel built his sandcastles, the sea was always bigger and stronger. Whoosh! Gosh, he's very small and the sandcastle is very large. And his little black and white dog looks a bit scared. Before bedtime, as Marcel was washing the sand out of his toes, he had, ding, an amazing idea. Eureka, he said. There's another thing for you to find out. Who said Eureka? Very famous scientist. That's it, he exclaimed. The sea was just like a gigantic bath. He would simply unplug it. He thinks there is a plug for the sea. Without delay, Marcel got straight to work. Whippy, we're going to need something special to get to the bottom of the sea. He's got a big box of things. With nuts and bolts and springs and screws, Whippy and Marcel worked late into the night. Until finally, the last whiz of his drill, the diving machine was ready. He's inventing. I know that there are lots of you in reception that love to create things. That's what being an inventor is, somebody that creates brand new things. Full of excitement, Marcel raced to the beach to launch it. Luckily, it was high tide, so with a splash and a zoom of his propeller, he disappeared under the surface. Oh, his dog is still on the boat. Whippy is still on the boat. There he is, under the ocean. Oh my gosh, there is a plug. Marcel travelled deeper and deeper underwater, past all kinds of weird and wonderful sea creatures, until he eventually spotted the plug. The old chain was extremely heavy, and it took all of Marcel's strength to lift it to the surface. Back in the boat, Marcel attached the chain with a crane. Hoist her up, Whippy! Suddenly there was a loud gurgling noise, glug, 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 glug. As the plug came up, the sea started to disappear down into a large whirlpool. A whirlpool is when the water goes round and round and round and round and round. Next time you're in the bath, have a look at the bath plug when you take it out, and the water will go round and round and round. That's called a whirlpool. Their little boat swirled around as the ocean drained away until they eventually found themselves washed up on the rocks. All around Marcel, the creatures of the sea were trapped on the sand in the shallow rock pools with no ocean and no means of escape. Of course, in the ocean, all of these animals would be living because the sea is their home, and it's gone. Then Marcel realised that without the sea, the frozen ice caps would begin to melt, and the polar bears and penguins would have nowhere to live. Oh no! He needed to fix things, and fast. That's it, shouted Marcel, as he jumped to his feet. If there was a plug hole, surely there must be a... What do you think? Something water comes out of and you turn it. It's a tap. You're right. But where could it be? And would they be able to find it in time to save all of the sea creatures? For hours, Marcel and Whippy trudged through the soggy sand, searching for the mysterious sea tap. There is a submarine stuck. There's a whale not very happy, and a dolphin that's not swimming. Oh no. Just as they were about to give up, Whippy started barking. Oh, we could spot something at the top. That's it, boy. But how do we reach it? Well, it's right up there. Then Whippy gave Marcel an idea. Oh, he's got a spade. With miles and miles of sand all around, they started to build. What do you think they're going to build? The biggest sandcastle ever created. Oh my gosh, that's pretty amazing. And at the top was with a huff and a puff and a push and a pull, the tap finally turned on. With the force of a waterfall, the sea blasted out, sending Marcel and Whippy down, down, down into the rising water. Washed up onto the beach by huge big waves, Marcel and Whippy were very wet and exhausted. But you know what? Oh, they were relieved. Poor Whippy looks exhausted. Quickly, very quickly indeed, the oceans filled back up. Dolphins were delighted because they could swim again. Crabs were content, and the octopus, well, he was doing a special dance. And the sea froze to make ice, and the polar bears and penguins returned to their home. Gosh, that was lucky. Finally, with everything back to normal, Marcel didn't mind that his sandcastles got washed away, because you know what? He could build them again, even bigger and better, every single day. The end. What a lovely, lovely story. That's thanks to Isaac, my grandson, for loaning us that one. Hope you enjoyed it.